Hello, chat, and welcome to a brand new Roomba of Thought. It's March! We're already 2 months done with the year. We're already a fifth of the way through the year. What the fuck? It was January like 5 minutes ago. What? Also, say hello, Goobers.
The Ides of March.
Hello!
Hello, Goobers. I'm gonna look at this so I can hear you better. Alright. Hello, I am fishing. I am the fisherman. Thank you, me, for adding 2,000 points towards the Grand Tourism World Championship with the Cadillac GM. Oh, for fuck's sake, Phantoms. Fucking, I'll fucking smack them. Bring them.
Go quickly back up. Rob them.
I think they're not even targeting me. What?
Damn.
Yeah,
They EP. That's how you kill phantoms.
they're targeting those two.
Oh, skill issue.
Yep, Kakalamaw.
Nice, F65.
Also, I got an achievement for getting an eel stuck on me.
Whack.
How was it for the achievements? What's it like? What was it again? Oh! No, it's not.
Like to open up the achievements?
Yeah.
I think it's under escape. You hit escape, and then it should say that's on one of the tabs, I think. Yeah. Advancements, it's right on the back of the game.
What the fuck? Okay. What's some dungeon?
Time to press the lemon on the schnitzel.
What?
Yeah, I'm eating
I have my weaponry. I have my dream combo.
How was everybody's week?
I was hanging. I was vibing. The electricity went out last night. For like...
Damn.
For like 2 hours. It was like 12 a.m. So it was like already like late. And then I was just vibing playing Atlas. Just chatting with some people, and then it just... everything just... You know when like there's a shutdown or something on like series where everything just powers off?
It was like that.
It felt like that, and then we're like, okay, I'm going to wait and see when it actually like goes back on, and then go to sleep. So I just did some role-playing training, and 2 in the morning, 1:59 a.m. Lights go back on. I just saw lightning strike the water. Okay, cool. And I sent to the family chat, the lights come back! My mom the next morning, you should have been sleeping. I'm like, yeah, I went to sleep directly after. After that. Oh, it was funny. It was very funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, apart from that, just the usual. I applied for Burger King this week. I'm that desperate.
Damn, Jimmy's reached the bottom of the barrel. He's applying to a fast food company.
And I also reapplied to a place that I applied to initially, like around October or September. But do y'all remember those like huge like rains?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
that happened then. I applied and then immediately the Dana hit. And that area where was the supermarket that, oh well, not a supermarket. Do you guys know what a FNAC is? FNAAC?
FNAC.
Yes, FNAAC. FNAC.
The FNAC, yeah. Looks like there's a company that comes up with
Yeah.
it's a French multinational retail chain specializes in entertainment, media, and consumer electronics.
Yep. I applied to that again.
First result for Google's locations are in Paris.
Wow. I assume there's none in America. America, America, fuck yeah, coming to save the motherfucking day, America, fuck yeah.
Given that Google, when I say FNAC in America, the first result freaking Google's AI says FNAC may refer to the Federal Nutritional Advisory Coalition.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't think the company's over here.
Hey, you should know.
Sure doesn't sound like it.
it. Oh yeah, me. In this mod pack, because the villagers haven't been changed and it's still 1.18. I could probably farm for a mending villager later on. For now, we have like one villager left in the town, and it's Toolsmith. Its diamond tools are Unbreaking 1 diamond axe and efficiency 3 diamond pickaxe.
Nice.
Yo.
As for me, so this week, the place up in Oregon that I went up and interviewed with did not get back to me like they said they would.
Cringe.
Yeah. And this week, my basically emergency backup job at Leia Local Amusement Park technically started.
What do you mean technically?
Well, I had like a day of training, which I got paid for. But
Huh?
it's not like actually working, you know?
Yeah.
Why are there so many eels surrounding that dragon?
Good question. Yeah. So, yeah, that's basically the state of Beep's employment is I'm gonna be working at like the amusement park.
Yeah, at least you're working somewhere. Okay, be fucking grateful that you can go to work somewhere.
Oh, and the other thing, freaking, I mentioned that I had gone up to Oakland to do a thing with Bart, but I wasn't able to do it because Bart was delayed. Yeah, I've been trying to get directions to them on, alright, next steps. Person at the gate said reapply, redo it, and I can be in like the next set or whatever. The system won't let me do it because it says I signed up to it recently to do one. I emailed them. The email guy said, "Oh yeah, I can register you as just a walk-in to show up." And I'm like, "Alright, cool. What time and date?"
He has never
person-
responded you back.
The person on the text message support line said, no, you just have to wait until the system lets you re-sign up. And I'm like, cool. The person on the email line said they signed me up as a walk-in, however, they didn't tell me when to show up. When do I need to show up?
And also
Yeah, that was
silence.
Wow. Just wow.
That's to say the least annoying that you just don't get an answer at all. See? By the way, Darius, see?
Yeah, I see them. Damn. What happened then?
Yeah, here's more.
Oh, no,
Anyway. Yeah, my week's been mostly uneventful, save for the fact that I also landed a job.
Everyone's fine to find a job.
Employment in this economy?
I mean, your economy is different from mine, so...
Neverland woman.
Yeah, well, America is going into recession soon, and that tends to drag the whole world economy down with it, so...
Oh, shoot.
Basically, my point is even if Jimmy gets a job, he's likely going to get laid off almost immediately when the world goes into recession again.
I'm just waiting, man, when this happens.
Actually, wait a minute, I just realized, because I technically have a new job, that means I need to update my resume, don't I?
Probably.
Yep.
What's nice thing now?
That's something I should have done. I should have gotten my supervisor's contact information so I can immediately put him on my references.
Hi, Nina. Hey. I assume that you're busy today or that you're not feeling well. So if that's the case, please take a rest. Please watch out for your health. Apparently updating resumes today. Good luck. Go. Mina, just really quickly, Mina. So, the mod pack that I'm playing now, I'm not playing Pixelmon today. It has dragons from How to Train Your Dragon. I got a Light Fury. Look at her.
Hell yeah.
She's so pretty. Also, she looks like a puppy. She's like raising her paw.
Speaking of like the co-workers, we're in the training. I'm sitting there in the training and just watching as one of my fellow co-workers struggles with the operation of a touchscreen.
Boomer moment.
No, they weren't the boomer in the room. This was someone else. No, Grant, I think the reason they were struggling with the touchscreen is because they had really long nails that were interfering with their ability to hit the touchscreen. There's also someone else who spent like a solid minute struggling with the grasp of something being upside down. As part of the training, we were like doing something with a camera, and it's like they picked it up and it was upside down. It's upside down, so they turn it 90 degrees. They turn it 180 degrees the other way. And then they turn it 90 degrees so it's back the way they started. And they just kind of keeps doing that in every orientation except the correct one.
What the fuck? Ooh.
It's like, Damn. This really is the employer of second to last resort, isn't it? Damn. Anyway, moving on from Meep's interactions with the public, ominous lightning sound.
Hold on. Wait, Beep, I can do you one better. After hearing Meep's interaction with the public, Bolt, Darius, how was your guys' weeks?
Maybe that's been good. I know.
Darius, you said it so gruffy for a second there.
Yeah. But we kind of mentioned it already.
Yes, you know, the week was so amazing, and I swear to God, maybe the best week of all. Yeah, it was that good.
Ooh.
And you know why? Because I finished it, and now I'm happy.
Yeah, let's go, Happy Darius.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm happy. I hear the news again.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, both weeks has been, I think, so yeah, that would be in the week.
I think that was everyone's weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a lady who came to my job at 6:30, asked for $3 and a print job, and then packed her shit to send that night. We closed at 7. She left at 7:45. Jesus Christ! Like, if you know that you're gonna take a while, come a little closer.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to fucking calculate how much.
What shall we start with?
Well, all the way at the top of the idea box, Pokemon, the EUIC Championship.
So,
Oh yeah.
who here plays? Well, who here has heard of Wolf Glick?
Who?
Wolf Glick.
No.
Nope.
Isn't that Wolfie?
Yes, Wolfie VGC. His name is Wolf Glick. So, for those uninitiated on the beautiful...
See, I've heard of him.
Yes, that's his name, Wolf Glick, Wolf VGC.
I've only ever heard him referred to as Wolfie VGC.
Okay, so, he is the most condecorated Pokemon player there is. And he won this year's Pokemon European International Championship. This is an event that can qualify you for Worlds, if I recall. And that has... So the Pokemon Championships go in 3 different ways. Technically 4. You have the TCG, the VGC, Unite, and Pokemon Go as like championships to go through. And you have Day 1 and Day 2. Day 1 is Swiss. So like you fight... Well, not Swiss. Yeah, Swiss, I think. Like, you fight different people depending on your score, like the more depending on your wins and losses. And Day 2, it's a little bit of that, and then it's like top 8. He won UOIC, and in his victory speech, he was like, I need to talk about the scope of this championship. 1,400 people came here with their, hopes and dreams, having trained their teams, having prepared strategies with their friends. And he's like in this very like how to call it, emotional speech, and then he goes like, but it wasn't enough, and everyone just erupted into claps and laughter because this man is slowly but surely becoming the heel of Pokemon, and I mean this in the best way possible. Like, my man Wolf is an absolute fucking beast, and he's also very fun to watch, so I cannot wait for the VGC video. I am very excited. But yeah, basically he won. So just to put it in scope, how many tournaments this man has won? He has won, I think it's 11 regional tournaments, which you may call it's regional tournaments, but they're like majors. If you put them in like a...
Oh yeah, the region of North America.
No, it's like he won in Toronto, he won in, I think, San Diego, He's won a shitload of regional tournaments all across America. He's won the EOIC for America, the American EOIC a couple years back, and he's won this one. He's won Worlds in 2016, and he won the more or less equivalent of Worlds in 2020 with the Players' Cup 2. And this has made him like the most condecorated tournament player ever. He still doesn't have like the most. Oh, I say this. There's someone that has 3 world championships to his belt, which is, I think it's Ray Rizzo. Hold on. Ray Rizzo. Yeah, it's Ray Rizzo. He's won the world championships 3 times back in Gen 5 and 6. So he is pretty fucking important too. But Wolf has been playing since like Gen 5, and he's now like a couple years back he started like doing YouTube and more now, and it's super fun to watch him. And I'm very happy to see that he won. I watched the not live, but I did watch the finals, and oh my god, I was at the edge of my seat watching that. It was game 3 last like Pokemon or 2, and he clutched it out. Yeah, no, that was fun.
Skills.
He did get.
He's good at the game.
By the way, the person who he went up against, it was, I think he's I think it's like. Whoa, Sky, chill. Darling.
And Jimmy zooming.
Dragon moment.
My face went dragonfly fast. The stairs in that house annoy me greatly.
Yeah, no, it's not a house we built. It's a pre-built village house.
They still annoy me greatly. Anyway. Next up.
Yep.
Duolingo.
He's fucking back.
The owl's back.
Not even a Cybertruck can kill the motherfucker. I saw this on Twitter. It's like, do you really think I died? Do you really think? I think the quote retweet is, "Do you really think a Tesla Cybertruck would take me down?" Nuh-uh. So yeah,
you really think I was dead because I died?
No, it's like, did you die? Yes, but I lived.
Yep. Elon Musk is a bitch ass motherfucker. Duolingo's come to make an announcement.
Oh.
He took out his blocky hairy dick and he pissed on his Cybertruck.
And then the Cybertruck broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took out his blocky shitty car and he ran me over. That's right, he ran me over. Someone posted a call-out post on my twitter.com.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Elon Musk, you got a shitty car.
This looks like a. Hold on. What's the? I think we made a flag here. Maybe Belgium?
Belgium?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Belgium. Hold on. Wait. Yep, Belgium.
Fucking Belgium.
Oh, so yeah, Pika has a billion fucking dragons.
Mm.
Nice. So yeah, Duolingo's back.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah. Next. The Associated Press.
What does that mean?
So the Associated Press is a news agency in America.
Mm-hmm.
They're generally regarded as one of the highest quality, most middle of the road, unbiased reporting agencies that there is.
Uh-huh.
I think like Ground News puts them as like very slightly left leaning, but that's like, keep in mind, like, America doesn't have a left party, so
Yeah.
uh anyway, so as we mentioned last week, they got kicked out of all White House press events because the administration threw a fit because they refused to refer to it as the Gulf of America.
Uh-huh.
A whole bunch of American news agencies put out official statements saying, "Yo, this is fucking cringe," including both Fox News and Newsmax, which is an even more conservative MAGA-coded media outlet. They and many other American news agencies called on the Associated Press to be let back into the White House. I'd like to point out the Associated Press is also suing the administration to be let back in under the First Amendment freedom of the press. However, the thing is with Fox and everyone being like in on like, hey, put them back. I've seen at least some more cynical commentators are pointing out that the reason this probably is because the Associated Press is well known for its high quality and relatively neutral reporting, and a lot of the mainstream media is known to basically just copy the Associated Press's homework on a lot of reporting.
That's funny.
So Fox was like, no, put it back. We'll have to actually do work now.
They
No.
actually do the work for the news agencies. Okay.
Yeah, because you know the corpo press doesn't want to actually do work because that costs money.
Yep.
In other news, Elon Musk is proposed establishing an official enforcement arm of Doge, dubbed FAFO.
What the fuck are those names, man?
FAFO, of course, having a thing it's supposed to stand for, but what it actually stands for is fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I could probably be wrong.
Because this man is a child. Next up, I've got a bit here about Germany. I actually did some stuff and found some things out about German elections and their results to go into some detail about them. And what this means for like geopolitical nonsense. So, first of all, enough seats were won that this time around they don't need to do any three-party coalition nonsense that doesn't really work.
Thank
They
God.
got a simple two-party coalition between the winning CDU party and the third place SPD party. So basically the moderate left and the moderate right party. They came together to keep the AFD out of power because fuck them.
Yeah, nobody wants to rule with the AFD.
The leader of the CDU, who is presumably going to be the new chancellor during a press event, spoke about the election a bit and said America's interference in the German election was more outrageous than Moscow's.
That says something, Bruce.
Yeah, because of course, reminder, Elon Musk was campaigning for the AFD. The chancellor to be also called for, quote, independence from America. This means that both him and Macron of France are both on the same page with obtaining what Macron has called strategic autonomy from America. Because, you know, America's been kind of a shit ally the last couple of months. He is also, the new German chancellor to be, has come out swinging on the Ukraine-Russia issue, saying the previous administration's arms policy was akin to making Ukraine fight with one arm behind its back. He's already stated a willingness to provide Ukraine with Taurus cruise missiles, something the previous administration was strongly opposed to. Because you gotta blow up all the Russian shit deep inside Russia, because Russian air defense don't exist. Some other things. he has indicated a plan to suspend Germany's participation in the Schengen area due to the general European migration crisis, and has voiced support for the migrant offshoring program that Britain has, which is kinda cringe, in my opinion. But honestly, more focus on Ukraine from Germany right now, and it's not my country, so I can only say so much about this. He has vowed to continue Germany's green energy policies in the previous administration, but said that but if they conflict with economic growth, he'll choose economic growth. That said, because he isn't the Green Party, he is not anti-nuclear, because for some reason, Green parties around the world are like, yeah, we need to save the environment, but fuck nuclear power.
Yeah,
We
they're
hate
always
that shit.
anti-nuclear for some reason.
like-
and I don't get it.
Huh?
Yeah, Green Party's being bozos.
Oh, I'm sorry. I understand that like there's some stuff with like nuclear waste disposal and whatever. In the meantime, I guess we'll just keep burning coal and safely dispose of its waste in everyone's lungs.
Oh, apparently that's the way.
That said, while he's more pro-nuclear power than the previous administrations, what that probably means is he's not going to oppose like any EU stuff on nuclear power, but Germany's probably not going to turn any of its own stuff back on. But you know, we'll see. Maybe they will. Who knows? They'll turn back on the nuclear power to reduce their reliance on the shittiest coal known to man.
Germany's?
Yeah, like Germany
Yeah, the
was
coal is
shutting down
shitty.
nuclear reactors and tearing up wind farms to surface strip mine the shittiest coal known to man.
Damn.
Like the lowest quality coal that like exists.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Anyway, he has also expressed support for more European Union joint borrowing to like fund EU projects for Ukraine. Despite his own party generally being opposed to this plan. I've seen many commentators theorize the reason for this is it's easier for an easier way for Germany to direct funds towards Ukraine aid than doing it itself, because Germany apparently has a constitutionally enshrined debt limit,
Oh yeah, they have the debt limit that they set themselves to be.
and the new coalition, while big enough to govern, isn't big enough to easily like amend the constitution to fix stuff like that for them. So yeah.
The debt limit has been a problem for a long time.
Which, I mean, I guess having it enshrined in the Constitution means it actually works, unlike the American debt limit, which just exists so every couple years, Congress can beat itself up over it.
For example, the previous party in the administration actually took the debt limit quite seriously. Which also led to the coalition breaking up.
Taking a break from world geopolitics for a bit, the Canadian Pacific Railroad. Canadian, well, no, not Canadian Pacific. Is it Canadian National? I think it is. Whatever.
National Pacific Railroad.
Oh no, right, yeah. Canadian National renamed to Canadian Pacific or something via a U. I don't know. They have begun trialing a hydrogen-powered locomotive on long-haul freight.
Ooh.
Now, this is cool. If for no other reason, tenders are back on the menu, baby.
What?
Tenders, the thing behind a steam engine that carries like the fuel and water for a steam engine.
Oh.
Yeah, they brought it back as a really big hydrogen tank.
Nice.
Dope as hell.
There goes Meeb and his traintism.
Yeah. It's like, and the other thing it has is it actually has regenerative braking with some of the batteries it has on board, because it's a hydrogen fuel cell system.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I have look at is like, damn, North American railroads are really allergic to just fucking putting overhead wires up, aren't they?
Probably.
I mean, like, guys, this technology has existed for like 100 years.
100 year
Your trains are confusing.
I appreciate you like moving forward the industry and all that, but like, just electrify your railroad.
Yes, that a little spike to it. But
Just electrify the fucking rails.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can can definitely see some use cases for like these kind of hydrogen things, but like, guys,
Whoa, it's 2025. When do you want to do
just
it?
put up electric lines.
What's what, 2050? Is that when we want to do it or what?
They don't want to do it.
Ah, okay. So they all don't want to. Oh my god.
Because it's significant upfront infrastructure cost, which looks bad on the quarterly reports, which means it's bad for the stock value.
Capitalism at its finest.
But the stockbrokers.
Even if it will result in better profitability in the long run,
Nope.
that's in the long run. The corporations
Of course,
only
yeah,
care
yeah.
about what their stock price looks like next week. Hell, they barely care about next week, they care about what it looks like tomorrow.
Let's see what happens to the stock price in the future.
But yeah. Still, hydrogen, very cool. More practical than battery electric, which some people are trying to make work. No. Don't. This is of course in contrast to another thing that there's a different Canadian company that's working on doing diesel electric propulsion for trucks. And it's just basically, I watched something, it's like, basically the entire time was just like, damn, this technology has existed for over 100 years. How has literally no one put this on a truck before? Like, damn. And it's like, it's specifically also doing an application where it's like, oh my god, they're targeting an application where trains aren't the ideal solution and it's actually a good idea to use trucks. Wow.
Wow.
They found one of those few situations and they're actually targeting it. Incredible. And then, you know, they could do it in long haul trucks too, but like, their main priority is like logging trucks, which generally, yeah, trucks are probably just the best solution for that. Gonna be honest.
Truck. Motherfucker.
But like, still, it's like, yes, we have found a solution to make the engine run more efficiently, and get all the advantages in terms of power plant from electric for the better torque and shit. And this technology has been widely used in other industries for like 100 years.
Yeah, but not them.
But like, no one put it on a truck. Like, oh.
If it works, it works. It just
Yeah.
works.
Because this is literally the technology that has been the way the railroads have done everything since like 1950.
Don't change a running system. Oh my god, man.
I would like to point out, this technology existed when like trucking became a thing, and no one's used it for the entire lifetime of the trucking industry.
Absolutely,
Like,
absolute brilliance. I mean, tomfoolery.
Anyway, back to geopolitics for a minute. The Middle East.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Iran is reportedly shitting itself.
Okay.
Because Iran is expecting the U.S. and/or Israel is gonna conduct strikes on their nuclear weapon research facilities.
Yikes. Cringe.
Because
even.
you know, Iran's been researching nuclear weapons, and everyone's like, "No, don't do that." And then like the U.S. worked out a deal with them, and then Donald Trump in his first term tore it up. So Iran's gone back to researching nuclear weapons, and now they're getting close to it, and they're like, "Damn, we have to do something about this. How about we blow it the fuck up?" In totally unrelated news, B-52 strategic bombers have been reported arriving in the theater in significant numbers.
Completely unrelated, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's like, I'd like to point out, B-52s have conducted strike missions in the Middle East from Texas. That's a thing they have done.
We have to.
Because American strategic nonsense is unrivaled. As I've said before, if we wanted to, we could air deploy a Burger King in Red Square within 24 hours.
But why would you do that?
We could do it just to flex on Putin, and I wish we would.
I mean, I would far more prefer that than what's currently happening. Yeah.
Like, imagine, just the sheer disrespect. America flies to to a hostile power's capital, and all they do is deploy a Burger King.
Honestly, they could deploy a KFC in my city. I would love that.
I don't think we have an air deployable KFC. I know we have an air deployable Burger King.
Fuck me. Oh, I need one. I need one, man.
Burger.
Who do I have to call to ask? Oh my god, bro.
In other news coming out of Iran, one or more armed groups have begun fighting with the Iranian military just within the country. They just started throwing lead around. At least one of these groups has been identified as a Sunni Islam rebel group, which is like the too long didn't read of that is it's the other main branch of Islam. There's two main branches of Islam. Iran is mainly one of them, and this group is the other. The two groups don't get along very well.
If I remember correctly, the other branch is also the bigger one.
I don't know.
Saudi Arabia stuff, and yeah. But Iran is one of the only ones.
It's kind of like how back in the olden days, the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church didn't get along.
It's like, oh, it's also Catholics and Protestants, or how it's said in English.
I mean, nowadays, the different versions of Christianity sort of mostly get along.
We can live with each other.
They've all agreed, yeah, alright. Just so long as we all hate the gays, right?
As long as we hate the gays.
As long as we all culture war against the gays, we can get along.
That's
After that, it gets difficult. Anyway, so yeah, that's how it's going in Iran. There's people firing off RPGs and shit. This is like, I like my way this is literally basically in the bottom right corner of the country.
You know, it sounds like the Middle East moment.
Yeah, the Middle East is being the Middle East. Moving on.
Yeah.
France has proposed to Germany to deploy some French warplanes to Germany with the capability to carry nuclear weapons to extend the European Union's native nuclear shield in the event America is a bitch and just leaves.
Yeah, as both presidents and the chancellor says, they have to get stronger. They have to be more here.
And then off to the Pacific, where Taiwan detained a Chinese merchant ship and arrested its crew, having caught them in the act of actively sabotaging an undersea cable.
Bro, they got busted straight up.
Completely unrelated news, China then promptly had an unscheduled live-fire military exercise near Taiwan.
I wonder why.
So that whole thing's kind of like slowly heating up in the background.
China, don't do it.
Yeah.
Leave your hands off Taiwan, thank you, bro.
Yep. Next, we go back to the United States.
The US of A.
Where a Georgia congressman suggests that students get jobs to pay for school lunch.
Bruh.
Huh?
I'm gonna give you one guess at which party he's part of.
Yeah, this Millie man.
jaundiced Voldemort. Anyway, the other thing from the U.S. before we get to the big news from the U.S. is that so. A bit of context: the Republican Party likes to host town hall events where like the elected official comes to like a local like Starbucks or something and speaks with his constituents. And recently, for no particular reason, the voter base has become a lot more hostile towards these politicians.
Are they waking up? Whoa.
Now, for the most part, from what I've seen, it seems to be the voters angry at the representatives for the bad Mango Mussolini has done, and the things he's actually responsible for, but they're blaming the other elected representatives because MAGA's a cult and you don't question the glorious leader of a cult.
Okay, so
Though
they're not
some of
waking
them
up.
have, actually, I really point out for how deep that part of it goes. There's at least one clip I've seen where it's them being angry about it, and the representatives like, we're just doing what Trump tells us, and the voter base, Trump would never do such a thing,
Fucking god.
even though literally he did do that thing. However, there have been clips of them actually being angry at Trump over some of the shit that's going on. I saw at least one video of a bunch of MAGA supporters. They gathered up a bunch of Trump campaign flags, threw them into the fire, and were flipping them off as they burned. So at least some people have woken up. There was also a clip this week of at one of these events, non-uniformed security manhandled a woman out of one of these events, and this was filmed. The uniformed security who refused to identify themselves initially were telling this woman it'd be easier if you just complied, to which she replied, "That's what rapists say." Yeah, this went viral and all that. And yeah, she's pressing charges against them. And the thing is that makes this just kind of damn. Is want to take a guess who was filming this woman get forcibly removed by non-uniformed security who refused to identify themselves?
Oof.
The sheriff.
Bro, what? My fucking god.
So yeah, that's the state of rural and semi-rural America. Anyway, elongated muskrats, or Doge, probably both, sent an email to all government officials in the entire federal government asking them, what did they do last week? The Department of Defense and other agencies told their staff to just ignore it. Several agencies, with one Pentagon official being quoted as saying, "This is the silliest thing in 40 years." Elon then replied to that Pentagon official, anyone with the attitude of that Pentagon official needs to look for a new job.
So maybe she should finally stop being a fucking man-child and start thinking.
The Department of Health and Human Services to its staff said, quote, "Assume that what you write will be read by malign foreign actors and tailor your response accordingly." Elon then sent a second email threatening to fire anyone who didn't answer this one. A confused Trump at a press conference said, quote, "It's somewhat voluntary. If you don't answer, I guess you get fired." So yeah, that's how the government's going right now.
Bro, what the fuck? It's somewhat voluntary, you know? Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
There have been at least 20 federal workers conscripted into Doge who resigned in protest of being told to work for Doge. So yeah, so what happened basically is there was an existing government agency that Trump basically just turned into like the actual quote-unquote official part of Doge, and like a whole bunch of people who worked for it just resigned in protest. And they had a mass resignation letter, and I'm gonna read a quote from it. Quote, "We will not use our skills as technologists to compromise core government systems, jeopardize American sensitive data, and dismantle critical public services. We will not lend our experiences to carry out legitimate Doge actions. So, yeah. Some people are standing up to Doge. Meanwhile, we are once again going back to the CPAC conference where several weeks back, which was like weeks ago, but another thing came out from it and it went viral. This was where there was yet another Republican official did a see Kyle. But now we have a video of Elon Musk. Apparently, he gave a speech at this event. I don't think this was the one he see Kyled at. That was a different one. But at this event, he had his 4-year-old human shield on stage with him. After his speech, he gestures for his child to follow him and then walks off the stage, down the stairs, and then power walks to backstage. His 4-year-old, being a 4-year-old, struggles a bit to get down the stairs, and Elon Musk just leaves him behind.
Bro, what the fuck is he? No, he's not a human being. He is a CEO. He should, you know what?
Yeah, commentators have like pointed out that if this was like a woman politician who did this, this is basically the kind of things that women politicians would just like, oh yeah, their career's just done.
Yeah, but it's Elon Musk, so you can do it.
Yeah, but it's Elon Musk, so no one gives a shit.
But hey, that was the chance to not have the human shield. There was it.
Anyway, take a break from Elon Musk and all that nonsense. Chicago. In Chicago, there is an airport.
Oh.
And on that airport, there was very nearly another incident. Well, there was an incident, but it was a minor incident compared to a major incident.
What is happening with airports and airs?
Yeah. So, there was a Southwest Airlines Boeing 737. So, off to a great start already. But this actually had nothing to do with the fact it was a Boeing. So, this aircraft was coming in for a landing. And I watched the video. I'm not quite sure if it actually like touched the runway or it like was just about to. But they aborted the landing, it powered back up and took back off. Because another jet came onto the runway as the Southwest Airlines plane was landing.
Well, luckily they aborted.
Yeah, they aborted so they didn't crash. But yeah, another jet got led onto the runway, or was on the runway while a landing was going on.
Well, what is the communication tower doing?
Well, as a reminder, the FAA, who's in charge of the communications tower, they've been purged.
Oh!
So, yeah, that's how that's going.
Okay. I'm slowly starting to fear that America's manware is starting to not be able to run probably as a government and as a nation. Because this is already scary.
The Department of Housing and Urban Development, their headquarters in Washington, D.C. got hacked. Specifically, all the TVs in their lobby got hacked. And they were hacked to show an AI-generated video of Donald Trump kissing the feet of Elon Musk and sucking his toes.
Oh.
Like Trump to kiss feet, Alter. The feet kiss aber. I mean, yeah. Honestly, who knows if it's there? I guess because it's badly done and it's start looking fucking weird. But hey, who knows what happens back in the dark power rooms, you know? I fucking god.
Yeah. Anyway, for a bit of positive news now, for a break from all that nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Out in the British Virgin Islands, not to be confused with the Virgin British Islands, artists have constructed an 80-foot-long steel-framed kraken to be sunk as an artificial reef.
Let's go.
So yeah, dope as hell artificial reef. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Anyway, let's go back to some depression. Ukrainian and Russian news.
Yay!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our third year of the 3-day special military operation.
the operation, of course, not the war, you know.
Yep, the 3-year anniversary of this nonsense was this week. And to celebrate, the US sided with Russia at a UN General Assembly vote. This vote was to declare Russia, redeclare Russia the aggressor in Ukraine, America voted against this resolution, which I'd like to point out. The people who also voted this way included Belarus, North Korea, Hungary, and Israel, but not China or Iran. China and Iran abstained.
Well,
The U.S. then, went on to propose its own resolution, simply expressing sadness at the loss of life and calling for the war to end as soon as possible. Then France immediately jumped in and was like, hold on, we have to make sure we declare Russia's responsible for this. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll put that on the resolution. So America abstained from its own resolution.
this is so sad, bro.
Then the UN Security Council met, and the US proposed its resolution again. And this resolution actually passed, being the first time a UN Security Council resolution related to the Ukraine-Russia conflict passed a Security Council vote because Russia kept vetoing everything. The Kremlin put out a statement on this, announcing it was pleased by the, quote, much more balanced US position.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
No shit, buddy. You have the Tangerine Man on your desk.
Yeah, freaking jaundiced Voldemort. Which is a new nickname for him that Mina came up with.
That's funny.
Or at least Mina told me about.
That's funny as fuck.
So, as we've mentioned, Trump is trying to mafia shake down Zelensky for a mineral deal. Putin took to Russian state TV to give Trump his own mineral deal offer, including minerals in the occupied Ukrainian territories. Trump then refused to publicly call Putin a dictator, despite calling Zelensky one.
Hold on, wait a second, wait, what?
Yeah, because remember, last week Trump called Zelensky a dictator,
Yeah.
but he's refusing to call Putin a dictator.
And then he started to not remember it.
So,
We'll get back to that.
what?
In other news, in St. Petersburg, Russia, an 83-year-old survivor of the siege of Leningrad, on the anniversary of the war, staged a one-person protest, and they got arrested. Presumably, they'll be sent to the gulag where they will die.
80-year-old guy. My fucking
83-year-old.
83-year-old guy. My fucking god, bro. So that's what he gets.
That's what she gets, I guess, because it's Russia. Also, there have been reports that some of how Russia's got they're using donkeys and shit on the front line for logistics.
Yeah.
Apparently, some of those aren't actually issued. The troops are buying them themselves.
Bro, they are buying their own donkeys.
Yes,
Oh my fucking god.
the mighty Russian bear, everyone.
The Russia in COD, Russia in real life, dude.
Yeah.
It literally is the meme of you versus the boy she tells you not to worry about.
Look, all I'm saying is the Soviet Union literally needed Nazi Germany's help to invade Poland. That's all I'm saying. Because, this reminder, that was the, second time the Soviet Union invaded Poland. Because they'd done it before, and they got their asses handed to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, Russia completely pulled out of ceasefire negotiations.
To the surprise of absolutely nobody.
Actually, that did actually surprise some people, because people were expecting, they're like, oh yeah, we want a ceasefire, so we can, and then they turn around, yeah, the reason we want a ceasefire is because we can spend 2 years rearming and resupplying, and then we'll just keep going from where we left off.
Yeah, that's what I'm actually
Like
surprised
we did
by.
in Chechnya.
I'm surprised that they pulled out. Okay.
In other news, there was a mass pro-Ukrainian protest outside the Chicago Trump Tower.
Oh, hold on. Wait, I can speak a little more about this one because there were also in other places. There was one I think in New York that people got in like anti-Musk protesters were out inside of Tesla. Okay.
Yeah, they overran and completely filled up and were spilling out of a Tesla dealership, just completely blocking it from running, doing both an anti-Elon protest and a pro-Ukraine protest.
Yeah, saying that fucking hell, Zelensky's a hero. Which, let's be honest, he kind of is.
But yeah, we'll get back to that because that's in relation to something later. In other news, the Institute for the Study of War, which is an independent group, Institute for the Study of War, assessed that the Kremlin doesn't expect to concede peace of any kind without Ukraine's full capitulation to Russian demands. So the Kremlin thinks they're winning.
As per usual.
In other news, a Russian S-300 air defense system, which was actively deployed and like set up and ready to do stuff, was destroyed by a Ukrainian Baba Yaga bomber drone, which is like an octocopter, which just flies around and drops anti-tank mine.
The drone that is fucking called the Baba Yaga is scary.
Yes. And we actually have. There's a video of this S-300 system like just burning, and the crew is attempting to save it. They've got a bucket of water, and they're throwing a bucket of water on it. They were not successful. Also this week, there emerged a video of Russian officers somewhat near the front line commanding from horseback.
On horseback?
On horseback.
Bro, are they fucking French in World War II or what?
It's like... Why are you on horseback?
Bro,
What the hell are you doing?
Back in fucking time, bro. And they have the donkeys, now they have horses.
Yeah.
What are going
Yeah.
on next? On foot? With javelins?
Don't tempt them, Darius. They might actually try and do that.
What, fight with javelins?
Yeah.
No, the Ukraine's doing that. It's just the javelin is now a missile launcher.
I get that. I got that reference.
The Olympic Ukrainian javelin team hits different. Anyway, in other news, this week there was a report that was put out. So, months ago, there was I know I mentioned it. There was a really big strike on a Russian munitions depot. It was like a huge strike because the Russians weren't actually bothering to put the ammo in like the bunkers. They were just stacking it on the ground outside. They did an analysis of it. Like I think it was like the Institute for the Study of War or something did this analysis, and they estimated that among the things destroyed in this strike was 50% of Russia's entire reserve of 120mm mortar shells. %, which is obscene. In other news, the citizens of the Russian region of Dagestan put out a video begging Putin for aid, complaining about living like it's the 18th century due to constant shutoffs of natural gas, electricity, and water. Like, they're like, yeah, we have to go down to, like, the well with buckets to get water. We're having to cut wood for heat. Meanwhile, all of, like, the greenhouses to feed, like, the oligarchs, they all have power and gas and all that, but we don't. Putin, please help. Because Putin's the glorious leader, and obviously he can help them. Anyway, this week was released a new draft version of the Ukraine-US mineral deal. And it's completely unrecognizable to the atrocious deal we saw earlier. Because the old version was basically like, yeah, Ukraine's going to give America 50% of all its mineral rights in exchange for the America forgiving a debt that Ukraine didn't actually have. With this one, had a whole bunch of fancy economic stuff, but basically, it actually mentioned security guarantees this time. And this one would work by creating a jointly owned between Ukraine and America, to be filled by 50% of new minimal revenues, which can be used to award contracts to U.S. companies to then invest back into Ukraine. So it's like incredibly good. Which then the theory was Trump was going to go parade this around like a big win for the U.S., even though it doesn't really do anything. But he lies to his supporters all the time, and it's a victory, and that's all he really probably wanted. And after this was announced, he already began warming back up to Zelensky in his public comments. He got asked, does he still think Zelensky's a dictator? And he said this quote, "Did I say that? I can't believe I said that." Quote, "We want to work with Zelensky, and we will. He is the best president of Ukraine."
Such a salesman, bro.
That aged poorly, by the way.
Yeah.
Trump then admitted his peace push might fail. This was after Russia pulled out of peace talks completely. But he does say he'll try and get some Ukrainian land back. Well, he did anyway. In other news, an Australian billionaire put out a statement publicly condemning Russia and personally donating $3.15 million to Ukraine.
Let's go. That's a nice billionaire, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, you know how I mentioned Trump was warming back up to Zelensky? Yeah, that turned around real fucking fast. So, Zelensky and Trump had a meeting in the Oval Office, which can best be described as an unmitigated disaster. Now, this was like a 45-minute long meeting. For most of the meeting, it was actually going fairly well. And then about 7 minutes before the meeting ended, JD Vance, who had like no reason to actually be there, interjected himself into the discussion and started parroting Russian propaganda at Zelensky. Now, Zelensky, fairly professionally, after this, tried to politely correct him. This quickly descended into Trump and Vance getting into a shouting match with Zelensky, while the U.S. Secretary of State, who was also there, just kind of slumps down in his seat, with just trying his best to hold a poker face. Trump then accused Zelensky of being ungrateful for U.S. aid and like never saying thank you. Jump cut to CNN having a compilation of Zelensky saying thank you to the U.S. Trump then gave an ultimatum to Zelensky to accept the mineral deal or the U.S. will pull its support. Zelensky ends up leaving the White House very quickly following the meeting, reportedly having been kicked out of the White House.
My fucking god.
European allies in general are pretty pissed about all this. Though Zelensky, with the leaders from across Europe and elsewhere publicly re-upping their support for Ukraine, standing up for Ukrainian democracy and peace as the world collectively refuses to follow America's lead, are testament to the strength of the global democratic system and the end of the American-led geopolitical order, thanks entirely to Trump and Elon, who have single-handedly demolished it over the course of 2 months.
Man, let's
Well
see
done.
how far it gets.
Zelensky then also trolled the shit out of JD Vance and Trump by, in response to every single one of these world leaders re-upping their support for Ukraine, he just said thank you to them all on Twitter. He's like, alright, you fuckheads.
Yeah, after this meeting.
Because reminder, this man is by career a comedian.
Yeah, a comedian.
We then have some of the nonsense the fallout of this. We have here we go. So immediately after this, JD Vance and Trump both went on vacation. Trump went back down to Mar-a-Lago to play golf. JD Vance went up to Vermont to go skiing. And basically his entire trip from the airport to his resort was just lined with pro-Ukrainian protesters. Just holding Ukrainian flags and also just general anti-Republican stuff like trans flags and shit. Protesters outside the Tesla dealership in Manhattan and inside the Tesla dealership in Manhattan were chanting Zelensky's a hero. But more nonsense from that Oval Office meeting though. So one of the things that came out of this is apparently a bunch of people are blaming this whole fiasco on Zelensky not wearing a suit to the meeting.
Fucking idiotic. Look at a
I'd
few
like to
other
point out, the
leaders.
reason this got brought up at all is there was a reporter in the Oval Office, who when during questions, complained about Zelensky not wearing a suit and asked him, does he even own a suit? To which Zelensky had the response, "I will wear a costume when the war is finished." By the way, we have the identity of who the fuck that reporter was. This was a reporter from a deep MAGA air quote news outlet who presumably only got the spot there because the Associated Press is still banned from White House events. And also, the person who this was the boyfriend of Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, also known as Marjorie Trader Greene. The most fucking insane pro-Russia deep MAGA politician in Congress.
Oh my fucking god, that's disgusting.
What the fuck? Hold on, wait. What the fuck? Oh.
So yeah, deep MAGA. Also, as many people have pointed out, in response to people being upset that Zelensky wasn't wearing a suit in the Oval Office, you know who else doesn't wear a suit in the Oval Office?
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Also the Indian Prime Minister, or whatever he's called.
I think he wears like an equivalent though.
I mean in his culture, yes, or the Saudi Arabian
yeah.
prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the equivalent. It's not, you know...
Meanwhile, Zelensky showed up in like some nice pants and like a nice shirt. That's like a crew neck or something. That's like a sweater or something.
Yeah.
It's like
Completely,
people
like,
were upset with it. I'm like,
acceptable
I'll
clothing.
be honest, when I first watched the clips, I didn't even register that Zelensky wasn't in a suit, because it doesn't fucking matter.
Honestly, I find it actually looking better than a suit.
And the other thing, like in response to this, by the way, they put out a photo op that they did, where it's Zelensky wearing that literally the same outfit, speaking with the King of England.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not?
Because it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter.
We also have another thing from someone else who was one of the reporters who was there. One of the reporters who was there got removed partway through because they were a representative of Russian state media who didn't have permission to be there, but somehow ended up in the Oval Office.
For fuck's sake.
Normally, this would be front page news in every newspaper in America, but this like just wasn't reported.
Because why would it?
No, who would care about an official representative of the Russian government getting into the Oval Office without authorization?
This is so wicked and corrupt, it's insane.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
Anyway, in an interview after this, in a later interview, Trump just flat out admits that he got upset at Zelensky because he said negative things about Putin.
Huh? Sorry that he insulted your boyfriend, you felt that asshole.
Yeah. Trump also had a quote where he went on an unhinged rant on Twitter, talking about the peace deal or whatever, saying he's pulling U.S. support because it makes Ukraine feel like they have an advantage in peace negotiations, saying, quote, "I don't want advantage, I want peace."
No, you want Russia to win. Just admit that already, you fucking idiot. Yeah. Oh my god, I don't like saying this word because I know it makes people angry, specifically Carby. But man, Trump is just fucking retarded.
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
He's just fucking stupid. He's mentally ill. I swear he's mentally ill.
Yeah.
There's something wrong in his head.
Yes.
Again, if Carby's
Anyway.
here, I'm sorry for saying that word. I know it upsets you, girl. But I have to get it off my chest because it's just how it feels. Oh,
I
there's a
hope that
bot.
this aging will speed
Yeah, there's a
up
bot,
and
I
it will be very
Nine.
terrible. I hope he ages very terribly.
Yeah.
I hope he gets run over by a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
He gets run over by Elon Musk's Cybertruck. Personally.
Elon Musk just
Anyway,
runs him over.
Shocking Luigi update.
No?
Luigi Mangione update.
Mangione.
So, apparently HBO made a documentary called "Who is Luigi Mangione?" In which the chief detective and the New York City mayor both appear, as well as an actor playing Luigi. Now, Luigi's lawyers have some questions about this.
Fun fact, Meep, I'm pretty sure we talked about this last week.
I think we may have no.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
we
we-
did because I remember specifically talking about this because I talked with my mom that same day, and we talked about the Luigi Mangione HBO documentary,
Oh.
which has evidence that his lawyers don't even have.
Yeah. His lawyers came up questioning why the hell does HBO's documentary have access to this evidence before the defense team does, including evidence including police paperwork, forensic results, and the supposed journal of Luigi Mangione that the defense hasn't been given. Also went on to slam the shit out of the documentary and other actions by the state for prejudicing any potential jury and acting under the presumption of guilt instead of the presumption of innocence that he's constitutionally guaranteed.
Yeah.
Quote, it's outrageous that the time to go to prejudice Mr. Mangione's ability to receive a fair trial and go out there and make these statements and then not give the evidence to us.
The guy fucking stupid.
And basically, the too long didn't read on all this nonsense is the prosecution seems to be actively trying to get the whole thing thrown out for police and prosecutorial misconduct.
I mean, it would be good if it's thrown out. I mean,
Yeah, it's like it's. I don't think as someone who knows some shit about them, I don't think I could do more to like actively try and like get the whole case thrown out, than what I've done, than what they've done already. Other than some stuff that's just completely and obviously nonsense, like active jury tampering and whatever, which presumably they're gonna try and do. Like, let's be real. This is just so ridiculous. Like, the level of misconduct from the prosecution and the state and the police is obscene. It's ridiculous. Then again, one of the people involved is the New York City mayor, who, is actively doing a quid pro quo corruption scheme with the feds. So, that's how that's going. Also, yeah, as was mentioned, because a lot of this evidence isn't being given to the defense team, but it was given to HBO stuff, there's a good chance it could be declared inadmissible.
Yep.
Which would basically give the prosecution a case of, he's guilty, dude, trust me. My evidence is I made it the fuck up.
Do you have any source to back it up? The source is I made it the fuck up.
Yeah, my source is, dude, trust me. It was revealed to me in a dream.
Jesus told me it in my dream. Trust me,
Yeah.
it's real.
Jesus told me himself.
We wrote in.
Jesus
the
took
T-Rex
the
and he
wheel.
told me.
In other news, in the House of Representatives, the Grand Old Party passed their budget plan and sent it off to the Senate for approval. As part of this budget plan, among other things, they are cutting Medicaid and food stamps by a total of $1.1 trillion to fund $1.1 trillion in tax cuts to the 1%. So they're cutting food aid and healthcare for the poor in order to fund tax cuts for the rich.
That makes sense to me. Not.
I mean.
Yeah, so
It's just me wondering.
average Republican Party budget proposal.
This is so stupid. The fact that this even is a proposal would be outrageous in every other country. This would not even get far.
Yes. But reminder, the two political parties in America are the far right and the liberals.
The liberals. Liberal.
I need Obama back.
Which, as I'd like to remind everyone, in Australia, an actual almost functional democracy, the Liberal Party is the most conservative party.
Yeah, I know, it works different. But over there in
Anyway.
America, there's two parties.
We go to the land of Texas, where, as we've mentioned, there is an ongoing measles outbreak.
Yeah, sadly.
I would like to remind everyone like 10 years ago, measles was declared extinct in the United States. And as part of this outbreak of the measles, a child has died. The first measles death in the United States in 10 years.
Poor child. Oh my
Alright.
fuck.
Actually, I think measles was declared extinct in the US like 20 years ago, but So first time in 10 years, someone has died of the measles in the United States. Head of the Department of Health, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. What is your stance on this issue? Quote, "It's not unusual. We have measles outbreaks all the time."
How the fuck can you say this if there's literally proof that it isn't a thing? After a fucking child has died. What fucking leader of the Department of Health are you if you're that stupid? Why are you even in that position?
An
Just because
anti-vaxxer
of
is
your
what he
name,
is.
probably.
What did you say, Meep?
He's an anti-vaxxer.
Oh yeah, true.
He's a fucking idiot.
It's. I'd like to point out there's like news stuff of like the news footage of like they've gone to like interview like doctors in the area, and you can tell the doctors are very clearly in their statement for the news, very clearly being like, "Oh yeah, this is, I'm calm, I'm doing everything I can." It's very clearly. Meanwhile, they're like, "I'm losing my fucking mind. This is something. This is a solved problem. Why am I having to deal with this? This was solved like decades ago. We have the vaccine. In fact, we right here have vaccine clinics for it. They have vaccine. People just need to come and get it."
They did all of this work, with a lot of years' work, just for people to be too stupid to use it.
This is one of the great plagues of humanity that we eradicated from this country, and it's been brought back by you fucking idiots.
All it takes is idiots for another outbreak to happen.
Which I'd like to point out. I'd like to point out for you guys over there, European vaccination rates are also coming down.
Yeah.
They're not as low as in the US, but they are coming down, except in Hungary, where they're actually up.
And Hungary, bro.
Rare Hungary W.
Fucking neighbor is actually having a W, holy shit.
Anyway, in other news, one of the senators behind the bill to ban TikTok came out in an interview and directly said that one of the driving forces behind it being passed was that TikTok was a hub of pro-Palestine content.
You really are again. You really are for killing minorities, are you? Like, is that the message behind the senators these days?
Yeah. Reminder, the Israel lobby is like the third most powerful lobby in America.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, Israel.
Behind like
I
the auto
complain
lobby
about
and the
that.
oil lobby. Or
Oil, of
rather,
course
I think
not.
it's behind the oil lobby and the military industrial complex lobby.
No, Israel is fairly big, yeah.
In other news this week related to Congress, the House Judiciary GOP official Twitter, so the official Twitter of the Republicans of the House Judiciary Committee, they took to Twitter and announced, "Breaking! Epstein files released," because they said they were going to release the unredacted Epstein files. Spoiler alert, they've released them, they are redacted. But the House Judiciary Committee, their actual, like, the Twitter, this Twitter announcement, they had a tinyurl.com link. So Rick Astley's never going to give you up.
What?
The official Twitter of the Republicans on the House Judiciary Committee said they were releasing the Epstein files and instead linked the Rickroll.
Oh my. Oh yeah, fuck. I've seen a most critical video on that. This is so fucking stupid. They're not even. They
This
do not
is the
even take
party.
it serious.
Led by someone on Epstein's flight logs. Someone who, like, we have, like, video footage of, like, him saying, "Yeah, Epstein's cool," and Epstein saying, "Yeah, I'm friends with this guy."
It's maybe the worst Rickroll that was ever done.
And Congress is using this to Rickroll the public. What
Fucking
the
assholes.
fuck? Anyway, taking a break from politics, Pokemon Direct happened.
Yep.
It was okay. So, Pokemon Direct. It was on Pokemon Day this week. I think it was the 27th.
Yes, this Wednesday. If
Yeah.
I recall, this Wednesday.
Yeah, the 27th. I watched it on stream.
Yes.
With Ryan and Griff for sure. It was better than last year's, which is not saying a lot. But it was a direct. Mostly just showed some news about Concierge having a couple episodes on YouTube for a few days, and getting a new season on Netflix. TCG Pocket got a new bundle of cards, same with the regular TCG. A lot of mobile things. Alcremie is making it into Unite, so that's cool. I might get back into the game when she comes out. And the two big things are news about Pokemon Legends ZA and what seems to be a Pokemon Battle Simulator. I say what looks like because we have basically no idea.
Legends ZA news. We got to see the starters. We got Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig.
So as a lot of people said, we got one starter, Totodile.
Yeah.
Because, like, 90% of people, and I don't mean this is a bad thing for Tepig or Chikorita players, most people are gonna pick Totodile.
Yeah, Totodile is by far the most popular of the three. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Totodile's there given the set.
So,
I'm gonna be honest.
and
I know there's been lots of memes of, oh my god, they left Cyndaquil behind. No, Cyndaquil is in Hisui.
no, Cyndaquil got sent to the fucking past by God.
Yeah.
To pay for his sins.
Yeah, meanwhile, Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile got made French to pay for their sins.
Yep. I just, it's funny to think about the fact that the Gen 2 starters are, like, appreciated so little that they had to put them in spin-offs to give them extra things to make them more relevant. And of course, the other starter that they added to this one is the relevant starter from Gen 5. I know it's used for speedruns, but I just really don't give a fuck about Tepig.
Here's the question though. Who instead of Totodile, which water starter do you think they should?
Piplup.
No, as in like of like the worst water starter to put up on in the lineup.
Oh, Sobble.
Yeah, probably.
Just
maybe,
turn
I don't
him.
know.
Just turn him to the spy from TF2.
He's already the sniper from TF2.
Exactly. Turn him into another class from TF2. That's a zombie.
I feel like Sobble's too recent though is the thing.
Yeah. Well, Legends Arceus Rowlet was sent out as the starter.
Yeah, true. Good point.
And that was the.
Hold on,
and that was.
Point. And that is one more generation forward, so I guess it would be fine.
Also, we're only going to be in Lumio City, which...
We're stuck in Paris.
Fucking French have done it again.
I don't know. I watched the trailer, I saw the things, and I'm just not really interested. I love Pokemon, but I'm probably gonna skip out on this game as well as I did on Legends Arceus. Like, Megas being back is already something I did not want. As a lot of people know, I fucking despise Megas. I feel like... What is it?
Continue, Jimmy. Continue, Jimmy.
Okay.
I'll bring this up after this.
Okay. I absolutely despise Mega Evolutions. I feel like they are the stupidest and most unbalanced and worthless waste of my time gimmick that they have added ever since they added battle gimmicks. I know it's the first one. That doesn't mean it had to be this absolutely fucking bad. Also,
you would, yeah.
the game looks fine. Visually, it looks okay. Like, it looks way better than Scarlet and Violet. I say this loving Scarlet and Violet, but it looks better. AZ's back with Floette. And the protagonists look like they're older. They look like nearly adults. They look like they're like early adulthood, like late teens, early 20s. Which is a first. Also,
System gun is perfect.
the battle system is whack.
Yeah, it's real-time battles, isn't it?
It's
Yes.
it's basically an ATB system out of the fight. Yes, your attacks have cooldowns. You can move around and you can call back your Pokemon to send out a new one. Also, they messed up the sizing again. There's a Onyx sent out in the middle of the video, and it's fucking tiny.
Damn. Pokemon main series games accurately sized Pokemon challenge. Impossible.
Well, I mean, they did it in Sword and Shield.
Did they?
Yeah, don't you remember the giant fucking Wailord?
No.
Nah, that's DLC thing. But it
Yeah,
is
I
there.
never played that. Alright.
But it is there, and but yeah. Also, there's a different art style compared to Scarlet and Violet. What else? What else? What else from Scarlet and Violet from Legends? Yeah, it's coming
Personally
like
speaking,
it's coming like 2025.
yeah. Personally speaking, I looked at the battle UI and I know it's not final, but come on.
I don't know. It's like I don't like Kalos to begin with. So back last year when I saw the trailer for ZA and I was like, oh hey, they might actually fix Kalos, and then they told me no, it's actually going to be only in Lumio City. That's already just a no thank you. And after watching today's trailer, I just looked at it and I was like, I'm not gonna buy this game. If I buy it, it's because other people actually played it and told me that it's good, but otherwise, I'm not buying it.
To be fair, Lumio City was the first like Pokemon city that actually felt like it was an actual city instead of just like 5 buildings.
I guess. I don't like Lumio City next